If you are watching this video, you are probably wanting to find out a bit more about what a career in developer relations is like. And as a relative newbie, I am wanting to share my story to kind of help you figure out if this industry is right for you. So my name is Carly Richmond. I am a developer advocate at Elastic. I have been doing this job for just under 6 months at time of recording. I came into developer relations following a just over 10-year stint working in investment banking as a technologist. I actually joined the bank fresh out of university and went on to their graduate program. So for a long time, banking was all that I knew. But I had done loads of various different roles, which is what kind of informed my experience of the technology industry, which has helped me relate a lot to challenges when I've been talking to developers as an advocate. So I worked as a front-end engineer. I was a software developer working on all sorts of different technologies. I had stints as a tech lead as well. I tried Scrum Mastery for a while. I dabbled in agile coaching. I did a lot of different things. Outside of the bank, I enjoyed blogging. So for a few years, I would mainly talk about agility, process, and engineering topics on my blog. But I felt the call to come back to technology and start writing about tech and code. But then also, after I took a 6-month break to go on maternity leave and have my son, I came back wanting to do something else for myself. And I decided I'm going to get into conference speaking. Not exactly a small goal. So what I did to get into that was I had heard about Global Diversity CFP which are workshop days run throughout the world where mentors can help you with writing conference abstracts and can give you advice and mentorship on how to get started in speaking. And they specifically target diverse audiences. And I found there that it seemed like something I could do. So I got back to work and I sought out a mentor in the company I worked for at that time, a guy named James Goff, who was a prominent Java speaker. And he gave me so much help and mentoring and support. He introduced me to the London Java community, even though I am not a Java engineer. And from there, I also got introduced to other communities, such as the Aspiring Women Speakers group as well. And in addition to hearing from speakers to get guidance and tips from them on how they approach speaking, I was also able to do practice runs of conference talks at their meetup. And I was also able to do lightning talks to try and get some general speaking practice into. And after a while, I found out that that was what I enjoyed, the content side, the speaking to people side, the community side. So I asked Jim for some advice and he put me in touch with two wonderful advocates, Helen Scott and Trisha G, who both spoke to me about their experiences at that time. And I could ask them not just about the day-to-day, which I've found since is actually quite similar to my day-to-day as I am now as an advocate, but I could also ask all the really daft questions and the things that concerned me about potentially changing. And I found overall that it sounded like the right thing for me. So after a while, as I was finding more and more that the content and the speaking side was really what I wanted to do, I started applying for jobs in advocacy. Now, I found them through a mixture of resources. I used LinkedIn, which might seem like a surprising one. I actually had alerts for developer advocate and developer evangelist because those titles are used for similar roles depending on the companies that are posting. I would also occasionally get job specs sent to me by friends that they thought might be interesting for me. But now, as an advocate, I know there's other ways to find them too. So obviously you can do a bit of Googling, you can search company websites for companies you care about to see if they've got any openings. And then there's other job boards as well, like DevRel.jobs. And then people will post stuff up on Twitter as well. So there's loads of ways to find out about what roles are available. Now, The interview process was interesting. So I submitted to a few companies, and every company had a very different process to how they interviewed advocates. Some had takeaway coding problems that I had to do, similar to what I would have done as a software engineer. Some of them had presentations that I would need to give. Some asked for takeaway submissions for writing a blog post or doing a video. And some were just conversations and chats talking about technology, community, and my experience, very similar to what a generic job interview would be like. And to be honest, I really enjoyed my interview process with places that I was interviewing at. I found it was very much a two-way street, that I was able to evaluate the company to see if it was something I would enjoy doing, a place I would enjoy working, and a place where I could feel like I could authentically be myself, which is a very important thing as an advocate. And you know what? It was also quite nice to meet some very lovely people. And that's always been a joy in my job that I still get to do, whether I'm going to meetups or conferences, whether I'm chatting in various forums to help developers, or even if I'm sitting writing content and geeking out on writing code as well. So now that I'm here, and now that I think back on my story, there are two pieces of advice I would give you. One is a piece of advice that was given to me by Trisha G, which is the importance of a portfolio. Show off the things that will showcase the skills that you need as an advocate. Doesn't matter if it's a 5-minute lightning talk or a 50-minute conference talk. All of these are relevant. So make sure that you add those onto your CV and make them available on your public website or even on your GitHub so people can check into it. It's not just about speaking. Make sure that you look at any blog content and code as well. Showcase what you can do. And the final thing is reach out and speak to individuals who are already working in developer relations to find out what their day-to-day is like and to find out if it's a fit for you. If you want to chat to me, I'm more than happy to have a bit of a chinwag and share more about my experiences. You can contact me at Carly L. Richmond on Twitter, and I hope my story has been useful for you.